All right, people. I'm back. Oh, there's a little ice with that. So, where were we? Coronavirus. Secrets revealed. So, from an economic standpoint, we learned that the price of products, goods, and services are not as high as we are led to believe. We also learned that a lot of companies were trying to just unethical, immoral, we're in the middle of a pandemic and you want to know when can somebody pay their bill. Yes, I understand you're not working, but can you borrow the money? Is there any way you can? People don't have jobs because of a stay-at-home order. The governors have basically shut down the economy, and you want to know if I'm going to take the little bit of money I got to pay off a bill. Yes, the car note is important. Yes, the phone bill is important. But at the same time, the kids are at home. The parents are at home. And they need to be kept occupied. So we pay the utility bills first. We pay the cable bill, internet, and we make sure that there's enough gas in the car to go get groceries. If there's any money left over, then we'll pay the other bills. But the fact that this is a global pandemic, and you got the freaking audacity to sit up here and call somebody every week to find out if they got some money. Oh, yeah, and then there's the stimulus check, which, by government decree, everybody is not entitled to the stimulus check. I won't give my reasons why, but yes, I know I've read the list of qualifications, yeah, and I know some people who didn't qualify. Yeah, I know some people who didn't qualify to get a stimulus. I also know that people who are getting certain things deducted from the federal or state government, that didn't stop either. And I'm not talking about taxes. I'm talking about like you owe the government some money for whatever reason. Yeah, I know this for a fact because my checks were looking as normal. So they cut me no slack. They cut me no slack. I could have died of corona and they still would have took that money. They wouldn't even left $1 to put me in a wooden casket. Well, you owe this, so we just took what you owe. Okay, I understand it, but this is a pandemic. So what you're saying is you're trying to kill off as many people as you can so you don't have to pay any money. But in order to be fair, you can't do it by race because then people will see you as racist, which probably means you are racist. Well, it is what it is. I mean, yeah, I said it, and I ain't taking it back. So, after the economic depression, then you got these racist fools that, through the years, have taught their kids and their grandkids through their actions about being a racist towards Negroes. So now this third generation, and the reason why I say third generation, because racism has been going on since the end of slavery. In my mind, it's gotten less. It's not just out there like it used to be, but it still exists. And now we know. So I've heard so many comments about racist TikToks, and it's like, really? In 2020, you have kids stuck at home, nothing to do but make racist videos. Okay, check this out. Our people, my people, were taken from Africa. Families were divided. And the reason why they call it a slave trade is because black people were not all sent to America. Some went to the islands, some stayed in America. Some went to South America, some stayed in North America. The same family member, same family. But family members were pulled apart and sent to different areas. Some worked in the cotton fields, some worked in the rice fields. Some worked tobacco fields. Everything wasn't just cotton. So, that being said, why? We dealt with the kidnapping. We dealt with the beating. Slavery. We dealt with that. We dealt with the rapes. We dealt with the hangings. We dealt with all the injustices that America has dealt out to us. And in the late 20th century, I don't know, for some reason it started to pick back up. I thought it was dying down, but evidently it's not. I'm in the car, y'all, because I was going to do my afternoon walk, but I heard it was going to rain, so I thought I would get out here and do this video and then do my run this morning, do my walk this morning. But I guess the weather changed its mind. It said it was going to come out this morning too. So, oh well. It's crazy. When it rains, it pours. So, you got these racist TikTok. That needs to stop. That needs to stop. And I'm not addressing the kids. I'm not addressing the kids because kids tend to do what they see other people do, what they see adults do. So even though you got these two kids, these crazy kids, they're all on TikTok making fun of black people. Oh, no father in the home. Oh, no, nothing. Going to jail. Eat watermelon and chicken. First of all, a lot of black people don't even like watermelon. I thought that was surprising, but yeah, it's true. A lot of black people don't like watermelon. But like I said, as far as the racism on TikTok, I do not blame the children. People close to me know. I will say it in a minute. I don't blame the kids. I blame the parents. Because racism is not natural. It is a learned experience. Understand what the hell I'm saying. Racism is a learned experience. So, that being said, your fight is not with the kids making the racist comments. Your fight in 2020 is with the people that taught this crap to these kids. Even if they didn't sit them down and say, you know, Stephanie, this is why you should be racist against black people. I'm not saying they did all that, but when these kids are at the family gatherings, when these kids are chilling with their friends around uncles and aunts, older people, and they're talking about, yeah, I was reading on the news, those niggers, those black people, they're always doing something. They always want a handout. White America, shut the fuck up. Y'all keep, you all are constantly expecting black people to bow down to you. You're not God. Okay? You're not God. You're not Allah. No. You have no magical powers. You can't turn water into wine. You haven't built the Great Pyramid. You stole all the riches that you do have. You won't give them back. And some people say, well, it sounds like you asked for reparation. No, I'm not asking for reparation. Tulsa, Oklahoma. Tulsa, Oklahoma. Black Wall Street. That's what I'm asking for. But what does that mean? It means you're a bunch of freaking thieves. It means that the next time the black people come together and try to build something for ourselves, we don't need you all coming in, burning the shit down because you can't get your crap together. That's not my problem if you got a whole bunch of white people out of work. And that's why I keep mentioning the coronavirus. Okay, so a lot of white people were out of work. They're protesting because they don't know when this is going to end. They don't want to stay at home and just sit around doing nothing. They have to feed their family. Well, welcome to the club, you ignorant people. Because evidently, a lot of black people have been doing this day in and day out. And nobody seemed to care. Nobody wanted to give us decent jobs. Nobody wanted to give us decent pay. Nobody cared. But now that you have to stay at home with Tommy and Cindy and Marsha, now that you all have to stay at home, not knowing when you're going to get that next check or that last check, you feel some type of way. You feel like you don't know what you're going to do if you can't go out here and make enough money to feed your family. You feel like you don't know what you're going to do if this lockdown stays in place. So you go out with your guns and you go protest. It's a peaceful protest. I give it to you. It was a peaceful protest. Nobody went to jail. Nobody had a knee in their neck. But why is it when black people try to do the same thing as an American citizen, we're met with such hostility? Oh, you got to love this coronavirus. Yes, this virus is killing up a lot of people, mostly people of color. And a lot of people of color have not went and got checked because they don't have the funds. I mean, let's face it. Since the coronavirus came to town, a lot of stuff has been coming out of woodworks. How disproportionate black people and minorities are dying as opposed to white citizens. Why is that? Some people might say it's because poor dieting. Yep, the salad analogy. I don't care how good your health plan is. If you're not eating right, if you're not trying to eat right, if you're constantly drinking and smoking, yeah, sooner or later, it's going to take a toll on you. So, let's continue. Cops killing people, citizens. I watched one video, black man's getting harassed, he ends up dead. I watched another video, white person getting harassed, they end up getting tased. 2 more officers come, they make sure he's pinned to the ground, handcuffed, they pick him up and they put him in the back of the squad car. While in another state, they just sit there, they just stand there and watch this young kid get shot. Watch this grown man have his life taken from him. Maybe, here's an idea. Let's fire all the judges. I mean, you might as well. What's the point of going to court when the police are acting like the judges? Well, you stole from this establishment and you resisted arrest. So instead of me calling for backup, I'm just going to kill you right here and now. You've become a problem. I mean, what is this, Judge Dredd now? The cop is the judge? He is the law? I really wanted to get out and take that walk today. Oh, this rain. Anyway. So, we're back to killing Negroes. Really? 2020, we're back to killing Negroes. As if all the Negroes through the history of the United States that got killed wasn't enough. And yeah, I hear a lot of people saying, oh, well, you know, those were just isolated incidents. No, they weren't. They weren't isolated incidents. That's like saying it was a coincidence. It's a coincidence. You know how many racist plantation owners there were? You know how many family members were in those plantations? You know how many kids, grandkids, great-grandkids, nieces, nephews, cousins, first and second, have spread all over the United States? There was a time when they would have public hangings and they would beat black people and hang them for all to see. All. And when I say all, I mean the kids. And they would tell them why the nigger had to be hung from a tree. Because they're bad people. So what happens when you indoctrinate a child to believe that black people are bad based on their skin color. They grow up to be doctors. They grow up to be judges. They grow up to be police officers. And then they expose other people to this bull crap way of thinking. And then they expose their younger family members. Racism in America is not new. It's not new. You keep wanting people to just take it. Just take it. Well, if you don't resist arrest, they won't kill you. If you don't try to run off the plantation, then the slave master won't kill you. I tried to tell you. I tried to tell you not to run. How could you be so stupid? We got it good. We got it good. We ain't out there in the field no more. Yeah, we got it good. Why you mess that up? You know Master was gonna catch you riding on that horse. And then he get his friends to come. I just don't understand you. No. And then there's the religious aspect of it. Oh, well, we're doing God's work. The evil of these people have to be stomped out. We have to get rid of this scourge on society. I just love how people twist the Bible to their own ends. Some people might say, I could be doing the same thing. Yeah, I can see that. But I'm pretty sure when Jesus was talking about love God with all your heart and treat your neighbor as you would treat yourself, treat your neighbor the way you want to be treated, he also, in that same book, if I'm not mistaken, I'm not a big Bible person, but occasionally I do read it. He also said to his disciples, he gave them an analogy. He gave them a story of the man on the road. So evidently there's this guy on the road. He's on hard times. A priest passes by. Don't do nothing for him. I think a rabbi passed by. Don't do him nothing for him. And I'm ad-libbing or whatever you want to call it. But, so 3 different people, 2 of them religious, pass by. And they do nothing for him. A well-known traveler in that area, he passes by, picks the man up, takes him to an inn, tells the desk clerk, get him a room and something to eat. I'll pay for it when I come back. That story right there, when I heard that, I read it again. What does he mean? So I read it slowly and I used common sense. Wow, it was amazing. I get the story. I get it. 2 people that had money, that had influence, that could have helped that man, didn't want to. Because he's not from their community. But the one man that goes from here and there, he don't owe this man nothing. He don't know this man. This man's not from his community. But yet, out of human decency, he helped that stranger. So when the Bible says to help those less fortunate, that's exactly what they mean. If you want to be in God's good graces, if you believe in Jesus, then it's not about helping the person down the street from you because, you know, Sally just lost her job at the office. So, you know, she's on a hard time. So I'm just going to give her a couple of $100 so she can keep the lights on for the kids. No, ignorant white people. That's not what that meant. You're not a Christian. You can't possibly believe that you believe in Christ if you constantly helping people based on the proximity of them. What they're talking about is people less fortunate than you. Like, oh, I don't know. If you're a person with power and influence, you might want to help out the black people, the ones that built this damn nation in the first place. That's what Jesus meant. The people that's less fortunate than you. Not the people that always had money until the financial crisis. No, that's not what I'm saying. And then you have this it hurts just to think about this because everybody said something about it by now. But I'm making a point. I'm making a point. So we're back to cops killing people in the streets now. Everybody's rioting. Everybody's getting mad at the cops. No. No. See, whenever you're in a major fight at school, there's always an instigator. Most people, they get all worked up and they want to beat down the person that they're fighting. But if you notice that in a schoolyard fight, there's always an instigator, always somebody egging it on. The person that knows how the fight got started, knows what the fight was about, but is not involved directly in the fight. That's the person that's responsible. I'm bringing up all these other stories as pieces of a bigger puzzle. And here's the thing. Since slavery, the government has always known the plight of the black person. The government has always known what was going on in the streets of America. The government did not want to do anything about it because of the color of our skin. You sit up here, you want to vote Democrat, you want to vote Republican, but you're letting the politicians determine what talking points will get them elected. No. The reason why we still experiencing the same bullcrap that we've been experiencing is because we keep using the same method. It is what it is. You keep using the same method and you're not getting any results. Basically insanity. But hey, what do I know? The government. And when I say the government, I mean the whole entire government. All the people in the government that are responsible for making laws, for passing laws, they're responsible. Remember this. Republicans and Democrats square off against each other. But in order to get a bill passed, it takes both parties. Now, the Republicans might want a little extra something out of the deal. The Democrats might want a little something extra out of the deal. Regardless of what they're getting, it's going to take both parties in order to pass the law. Majority vote. I don't know how else to explain it. I just set up scenarios for you, economically, racially. Stop going after the bully. You only need to do two things. You don't have to go after every bully in the world. You go after the biggest bully on the playground, and then you find the little imp that instigated, and you beat his ass. Yeah, I said it, you beat his ass. You beat his ass good enough so he won't try that with you or nobody else. But it doesn't have to be a physical beating. I'm not saying go to Washington and have a shootout with the secret police. Oh my gosh. People, look. Try to tie this up in a nice little neat bow for you. The federal, state, and local government have been instrumental in the process of black people having a rough time in America. I cannot say if they did it intentionally, as if this was planned, but what I will say is that if a group of individuals based on their race inflicts harm on another group of individuals based on their race, and some of those members are members of the police department, the fire department, whatever, if they're members of government and the higher up government, the next tier up, realizes what's going on and they do nothing about it, that speaks to their interests. It doesn't benefit them to help black people. If there's no money in it, if they have nothing to gain from it, then they're not going to do anything about it. Your vote counts. Your vote counts. You can vote all damn day long, and black people will still be dying. Yeah, I said it. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. How many times we didn't had this voting thing? How many times black people didn't get killed? Slave masters used to do it. Crooked correctional officers used to do it. Now it's to the point where police officers just feel some type of way and they want to shoot somebody in the back, kill somebody in the jail cell, wrestle them down to the ground and choke them out. Or in this latest case, we're just going to put a knee on it, which I find funny. And I don't mean like ha-ha comedic funny. I find it funny that Trump got Americans all riled up when Colin Kaepernick took a knee. Oh, you disrespecting the flag. A white cop just took a knee on a black man, unarmed, and that was already detained. I don't care what his crime was. Did he shoot somebody? Did he kill somebody? Justify lethal force, because that's what it was. He kept his knee on that guy until he expired. He didn't die at the hospital. He was already dead. If you look at the video, there's a lady in the background saying, check his pulse, check his pulse. I think he's dead. I don't know. When I was in school, we had to learn CPR in health and safety. Maybe all schools didn't have that. But I'm thinking if you work in the medical field, that might be one of the things they teach you. So even if you're not a doctor, I'm pretty sure at some point in time you have to learn CPR. You should learn CPR. Y'all fighting the wrong enemy. I'm not saying that crooked cops shouldn't be dealt with. But it's not just the cops. The cops are going to do what the cops are going to do, whether we like it or not. The only way that we're going to be able to change this crap is if we go to their boss. Just like an irate customer comes into a store, they don't get no satisfaction. What's your name? What's your boss's name? Oh, I want to speak to your supervisor. I want to speak to the manager. And if they still not happy, you know what? What's your name? I want to speak to your manager. Yes, that's the approach we need to have. Come on now. The federal and state government have been taking taxes out of everybody's check, black and white. And you mean tell me we can't get no justice because of skin color? Nah. I understand y'all in pain, but this is not the first time. This is not the first time this has happened. This is not the first. I laid it out for you. It's been happening for generations. Black people have died at the hands of white people, and white people go free. Badge or no badge. White people go free. Why? Because of the system. Because of the system. The system itself needs to be changed. You know, I put out a video a while back on the Constitution, and it got hardly any play. So if you're watching this, go to my YouTube channel and find it. Matter of fact, on the I was looking at something else, I'm sorry. It should be easy to find. It should be easy to find. I can't. Oh, I'm so upset. I'm not upset so much about the guy dying. That in itself is a tragedy. And I understand that. I didn't know him personally. But I'm upset at the fact that this keeps happening to people of my community. Negroes keep dying unjustly. If you did the crime and you deserve to die, then yeah, your ass deserved to die. But there are laws that say you go to court, you have your day in court, and then if found guilty, the punishment should fit the crime. So what we have is a bunch of police officers all throughout America taking the law into their own hands because they have a badge on. So why do we need judges if the cops are going to do the sentencing right there? So maybe we should just fire all the judges, just get rid of them, so they can live off their pension or whatever money they got left. Hey, You can always sign up for unemployment because you're letting the daggone crooked ass police do your job for you. But yeah, anyway, like I said, y'all, I'm not saying that the police shouldn't be held accountable for it. I think they should be fined. They should be locked up in general population. Anytime a police goes off script and decides to take the law into his own hands and kill somebody and it's unwarranted, oh, well, he committed a crime. Like I said before, just because a kid steals something from a store, do we just cut his finger off, cut his hand off, and say, well, that's what he get. He shouldn't have been stealing. If somebody rapes somebody, do we start castrating them? Well, you shouldn't took advantage of that woman, so now we're going to cut your balls off. No. That's not how our society is set up. That might work in other societies, but that's not how our society is set up. If you got crooked cops, crooked politicians, they need to have their day in court. Once they are found guilty, I feel that they need to go in general population. No more of this special jail crap for crooked politicians and cops. They shouldn't get any special privileges. You killed somebody unjustly. Why in the hell do you get to go to a special jail because you're in fear for your life? You killed somebody unjustly. Your life doesn't matter anymore. Because clearly you didn't think the other person's life mattered. And in closing, the government is supposed to be in charge. The politicians, the senators, the congressmen, elected officials, the ones that make the laws, those are the ones that we need to be engaged with. I'm not saying start going on a killing spree of senators and politicians, but voice your outrage with them. That's where the outrage needs to be directed towards. Because tearing this stuff up, businesses have insurance. They'll get that back. Police officers, okay, so what? He got fired. They'll just hire somebody else. They'll send somebody else over there. And like this one guy was saying, he said, who was that? You know what? I can't think of his name right now, but I saved some clips and I will see you in the next video.